What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. You already know what it is. The 904 Strength Club, home of the strongest content, coming out of Northeast Florida. My hands are huge right now. Rawr. Anyway, let's get started. I'm doing this video because I posted a hot take the other day, and it was about the power clean. And I said the power clean is a garbage lift for the vast majority of people. And guys, I've thought about it. And what I really want to say is I'm doubling down. You thought I was going to walk that back? I'm not walking that back. I am doubling down. I am 100% doubling down. I am bought in. I am all in. Power cleans are garbage. So let's have a nuanced conversation about it. Let me explain what I mean, and let's get into it. So, for those of you that don't know, power clean is the first half of the clean and jerk movement, which we get from Olympic lifting, which an athlete takes a barbell that is on the floor resting, performs a lift, which begins with what appears to be a deadlift to a layman, but is set up completely different, pulls the bar up near his hips, performs triple extension, catches the bar up here and rack, usually with a front squat, in order to shorten the range of motion that they have to pull that bar before they can catch it. And then that is the power clean once they stand back up. From there, to complete the clean and jerk, they have to jerk, which is an explosive press overhead, and bring their feet together. That is the clean and jerk. It is a movement of beauty and grace and power. I have 100% respect for Olympic lifting. So this is not me bagging on a sport that I don't like. I like Olympic lifting, okay? I dig it. And one of my favorite athletes, Lasha, is an Olympic lifter. I love him because he travels with a suitcase full of icons. And, that as an Orthodox individual, Orthodox Christian, I love that, my representation. Anyways, if you're somebody that is interested in doing Olympic lifting or a CrossFit type competition, you are excused from this conversation because it is intrinsic to your sport. You have to learn how to do it, and you have to learn how to be proficient at it to do well in your sport. Okay, this would be like a kid saying that they want to play baseball, but they don't want to learn to throw. All right, it's part of the game. It's part of the competition. You 100% are the one population that I think can lay claim to the power clean with no pushback from me. All right, so the 0.01% of the population that participates in that, that's y'all. The rest of you, let's talk about you. Now, one of the places that you will see power cleans ubiquitously is in high school weight rooms, as well-meaning coaches try to get their athletes to become more explosive, because the argument for the power clean is that a power clean involves explosive triple extension, and by learning to clean more, you become a more explosive athlete. I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. If you could go through and you could wave a magic wand and make every athlete in your squad proficient at the power clean from a technical point of view, yes, every single one of them would get a wonderful benefit from doing power cleans. The problem is that we're talking about incoming freshmen being 14 and 15 years old, and a lot of them don't have the coordination and proprioception requisite in order to really even begin getting them to power clean at a technically proficient level. The learning curve is steep, and they're going to spend a lot of time figuring out how to do it. And most of the time, they're still not going to figure out how to do it properly, because most of the coaches that are in high school football and strength rooms aren't necessarily the greatest Ollie lifters in the world to begin with. These are just facts. All right? I'm not bagging on you because you can't Ollie lift, because guess who can't either? This guy. I don't teach it. I don't coach it. I will not take your money to teach you how to do Ollie lifting because it's just not in my wheelhouse. So, if I could give you an exercise that you could use with your kids that would teach them that same explosive triple extension, but the threshold is so much lower from a technical point of view that you can teach a spastic 14 or 15-year-old how to do it in 10 to 15 minutes and know that that day they will be able to start working with meaningful loads, which are going to teach them explosive triple extension and make them more explosive on the field. Would you take that exercise and quit making them power clean? I think so. All right, I think so. I think the vast majority of coaches would rather have an exercise that would teach their kids that same thing, that they don't have to sit there and watch kids just try to muscle the bar up and completely miss the entire point of a power clean. All right? So there's the hypothetical, there's the challenge. Now, the next group that I see use power cleans a lot are CrossFitters and people that do a CrossFit style training, metabolic conditioning. Power clean is a great exercise, get your heart rate up. The power clean is a great full body stimulus. The problem, once again, is that most CrossFit gyms don't have a lot of people available to spend one-on-one time with every new client to teach them a solid power clean. You see a lot of people get hurt from doing poor versions of Olympic lifting, poor form Olympic lifting. Probably not as many as you see get hurt during the deadlifts horribly, but that's a different conversation. And I am not hopping on the Robert Oberst deadlifts are dangerous train. I'm just not. So, what if I told you that the same exercises that I'm going to give to the, football dads, football coaches, athletic coaches to teach their kids will do the exact same thing for you. They're going to give you explosive triple extension. They're going to give you a great metabolic conditioning, and it's something that you can teach somebody in a matter of minutes, and you don't have to worry about them having horrible form or just muscling it up or doing it just completely wrong and completely missing the entire point of the exercise. Once again, Olympic lifting is a part of CrossFit style games. So the argument can come back that for those that are going to train CrossFit or CrossFit type training at a higher level, they have to have it. I'm going to agree. I'm just going to say that the people that don't want to do that and just want to come in and do that style of workout, you could probably save them a lot of heartache by using something other than power cleans or clean and jerk or snatch and help them out. So let's talk about these movements that can replace the power clean. And the ask is that you are still demonstrating explosive triple extension and that the technical learning curve is sufficiently lower. So, number one, loading objects. Of course, I'm going to start with strongman. Why? Strongman is life. It is what it is. Sandbags and stones. Now, the beauty of a sandbag is you can make one super cheap. You don't have to go out and buy, one of the high dollar ones so that now you've got to buy like 30, 40 or 50, $200 sandbags to outfit, a training room. You can go out there and you can buy $20 canvas bags off of Amazon, put some sacks of sand in there, take a generous amount of duct tape, seal it up, and you've got a sandbag, and you can get a sufficient weight in there, and it's not going to fall apart anytime soon. Okay, I've done it. It works. All right. You can do the same thing with stones. Stones are more of a specialty case, and you're not going to have as much access to stones. Plus, stones are a pain in the butt with tacky and everything else once you start getting heavy. But sandbags, number one, they're cheap. Number two, the technique is very minimal when compared to a power clean. You're going to teach them to pick the bag, to lap the bag, and from the lap, you're going to teach them to do an explosive triple extension. You can just have people load the sandbag to their shoulders. You don't even have to have a platform to load it onto, okay? This is a wonderful way to teach triple extension. It's also a great way to bulletproof your lower back because you're actually taking the lower back through a lighter load and range of motion in that lighter load. So it's getting a great workout. You know, this is one of the greatest arguments for use of sandbags and stones is that your lower back is actually going through a small range of motion under load, but it's sufficiently small as compared to what it's capable to do that it's actually building it up and making it stronger and more injury resistant. So that's number one. Number one, loading objects. Take them to your shoulder. Sandbags are cheap to make. Number two, log clean. Why? Log clean is basically the same thing as a sandbag load or a stone load. You just have handles. All right? Take somebody, teach them how to lap the log, and then teach them how to clean from the lap. That's explosive triple extension. All right? It is. Now, the cons of logs is that you have to buy logs, most likely. So sandbags so far are probably the most accessible. The third is kettlebells. Kettlebell swings and kettlebell snatches are great examples of triple extension. You can teach people to do it in a very short amount of time. And the kettlebell snatch is a little bit trickier because you have to teach people how to move their hand around the kettlebell instead of just letting it flip over and smack them on the wrist. However, I would say that learning to do kettlebell snatches is going to teach them explosive triple extension every bit as good as a power clean ever will. All right? They're compact. They don't take up a lot of room. If you're at a CrossFit gym, most of them already have them. If you're in a high school weight room, you can pick up a set of them for not a terrible amount. All right. You're going to be able to get good results out of teaching kids how to actually hinge and extend. Even the swing, you teach people to do a more ballistic swing and to come up on their toes, and you're getting that triple extension. All right. So I don't want to hear it about how great power cleans are unless you're already proficient in them, in which case good for you, or you're planning on training for Olympic lifting or CrossFit type games. For everybody else, power cleans are garbage. Tripling down. We'll see y'all next time.